Okay, so I'm now going to try vectorizing a cat image, unlike last time when I tried vectorizing a dog image. So here's the cat image that I've commissioned. And so to get started, I'm just going to make a copy of it. So then I'll have one that I can start tracing over and another one that I can use for colors. So this time, I guess I'll start with the head again. So let me zoom in, and I'll block out the general shape of the head. Okay, so now I want to get a general color for this head. So I'll just lift this yellow here. And I want it sort of darker around this right edge. So I'll select the points along the right edge. And I'll pull this sort of darker yellow. And then, in fact, it gets even lighter across the top here. So I'll put in some nice lighter yellow across the top. So this just gives me a basic shape for the head. Let me just make sure the points across the top line up nicely with the ears. I want to shift this over a bit. So later on when I draw the ears, I can reuse those points. Okay. So now let me block in the ears. I need a general color for the ear. Same with this one. And then I want to match the coloring so that it's the same as the head at the bottom. So here I'll lift the colors from the base of the ear, from the full image. And then I'll match those in the real image. Okay. And there's a bit of a gradient in these ears. So even though it's color matched on the bottom, I might as well go fix up the coloring now for the tops. And then top is a little bit lighter. Ditto here where on this bottom of the part of the ear is a darker yellow. Okay. And I might as well get in this these ears here. So yeah, I might need a switch on outline mode. So I'll pull up the window here so it's easier to switch back and forth between those two modes. So let's sketch in the ear. Okay, and for the ear, I'm gonna go with basically a lighter color, and then I'll darken the insides. Okay. Do the same for the other side. Okay, so we have 2 ears done and the general shape of the head. That seems fine. So let me go try blocking in the body now. So I'll bring the image up to the top so I can just focus on these new parts I'm working on. So let me do this paw here. Okay, the paw, I guess I'll go with this base color here. This lower part has like a darker orange. I guess the top is also a little bit darker, but it probably isn't the right time to work on that. So I'll just work on this white front part of the paw. There we go. Okay, then I'll work on the second paw. Now let's get the coloring right. So it's sort of a neutral yellow, but the bottom is a darker brown, but the front is white. Okay. We have this little bit of color there. That piece has this color here. Send that to the bottom. So this is what we have so far. I guess I'll block in this foot and back right now. For coloring, I guess I'll go for this top color initially, and I'll darken out bits of it. So these ones are probably this more here. These two are also a little bit darker. These back here are actually quite dark. As is this one. Neutral color. And at the very front of the foot, it's actually white. Okay, so let's see what I have so far. So I have the head, ears, the main body, the two legs. Actually, these paws should actually go behind this front leg. Ordering's a bit weird because the paws actually go in front of the head. I might have to split things up later on to get that right. So now I just need the tail. And I'll use the darker colors, the general color of the tail, but then the top of the tail is lighter, so I'll select these upper points, give it this lighter color, then I'll match the colors at the top here on the transition. And then I'll make sure, that these colors match the body actually. So here's the color for that point. I'll switch to the main body. Oh, right. Here's the color for this point on the tail. Switch to the body. Assign the same color to the body. There we go. Okay. So I've now blocked in the basic shape of the cat. So I guess I can go work on some more details now. Let me put the eyes in, just because they make the image pop a lot more. Unfortunately, I don't have support for lines yet in Omber. So that means the sort of eye line effect that we have here isn't really possible. But once I get that feature in, I'll redo the clip art to add that in. So the top of the eye is blue, and the bottom of the eye is white, but it sort of transitions in between here. So I want to make sure that's captured. There we go. Okay, now I'll do this more of the eyeball here. And then the eye forms a gradient. So I'll lighten the color further down. Let me just make sure these points line up. Okay. And then I'll just do this final part of the eye here, which is this dark color. Just make sure these points line up nicely. So I probably need to add some more points across the top. Things. Okay, there we go. And I'll also trace in this highlight here. Okay, so one eye is done. Now I can work on the other eye. Top of the eye is blue. Slowly becomes whiter as you go further down. Just want some of these in between blue colors there. Here I might actually cheat on some of the contents of the eye. I'll just duplicate this existing eyeball here. Move it to the front. Drop it on here. So then I can just adjust the points to match the existing image instead of having to model everything from scratch again. Okay, so let's see how it looks. I need to just adjust these points to line up. It's underneath. this a little more round here. All right. Wait, that doesn't look too healthy here. Let me just clean that up a little bit. There. Okay, so the eyes are in. Might as well just put in the nose here. The little mouth. This will be much easier once I finally get around to adding line support in, instead of having to fake lines. There we go. So let's move the image we're tracing into the back. So we have the mouth, the eyes, and let's have these sort of blushes on the cheeks in. I'm just sort of blocking the general shape for now. Okay. So I probably want to try working on the stripes next. Either that or these whiskers. I think I'll work on the stripes. So let me draw on one stripe here. Trying to get the coloring here. So I'll start with the lighter colors. And it's supposed to get darker as you go further down the body. Okay, now I want to make sure the edges line up nicely with what's actually on the surface here. So let me just see. I want 3 stripes across the top. Probably want okay. And one of the advantages of the vector format again is I can just copy this for the other stripes. So let me just copy that, print up the original image, paste this new stripe, and this new stripe should go around here. So I don't really have to fully redraw things again. I can just and I can do a similar thing over here. Okay. So now I just want to clean up these points so that the points on the stripes line up with the points on the body so that nothing sticks out too much if you have to zoom in. Okay, so now we have stripes on the top of the head. And we want similar stripes on the body here. So again, I'll just copy an existing stripe. And then I can just paste them onto stripe here, get the general size. Oops. The general size right. Do the same over here. Might be better to rotate it. Go. I might actually want fewer points. Delete a couple. I'll rotate across the bottom here. Okay, so we have stripes over the body. So now I just want to make sure stripes on the body line up with the actual edges of the body, so we don't have this sort of peek through of the body underneath the stripes. So let me make sure there's enough points on the body to make that possible. Just move the stripes a little closer. And then I'll just make sure they line up nicely. Okay, so what have we got so far? Here's the head, these stripes. Still need more stripes on the paws and the tail. Okay. Okay, I need a stripe on the other paw. Okay, and I want stripes on the tail. And in fact, I want more than one of these stripes, so I'll just copy that stripe and adjust it to match. Okay, now I'll just have to make sure I adjust the stripes so that they go all the way across the tail. Okay, so we do have the general shape of the cat in now. The stripes. I think now would be a good time to try to get the shading right on the head. So I guess I don't really need this picture here anymore. Let's see. So if you look at this cat, see it's actually sort of darker around the nose. And then we have this sort of yellowish area in the middle. So what I want to do is split it down the middle. I want one polygon here. And another polygon on the right side of the face. And I'll send that to the back. Okay, so now I can start getting this coloring right. So this polygon should be this yellow here. And I'll use the same color for the left side. But then we want to sort of blend in here so that we don't have this discontinuity there. So let's see what the color should be here. Want the same color there. Okay, and I want to do the same for this right side. It's a little bit weird. The colors aren't going to line up properly here. So let's see. And of course, the whole point of splitting it down the middle so that you can get a very specific color on the nose. Oh, and I got that color wrong. Let me try that again. Oh, I might have accidentally set the color at the bottom here. Not quite right here because getting this darker bit here. I think I set these colors to be too light, too dark, in fact. Or maybe I just need to set the colors on the edges to be lighter. Let me think here. Okay, so now it is darker on the nose, a little bit lighter on the bottom here. Doesn't seem like it's dark enough on the bottom. There we go, that's a little bit better. Make sure the colors match there. And I'll pull in some darker colors for these points. So I think I'm extending the darkness too far up. I should sort of arrange the polygons so this darkness actually occurs further down. And in fact, it's a little bit darker on the top, so let me... sure I get that right. Oh, there we go. I think the head actually seems pretty nice. Now it's really popping. Now that I have the shading right. Yeah, so let me work on the paws so we don't have this sort of weird black bit between the head and the paws. It's the best way to fix this. So this part of the paw is actually in front of the cat. So I'll take this and I'll move it to the front. And we want a nice anchor point here that everything can snap to. And then this part of the cat, the paw is actually behind cat. So if I just extend things up a bit. There, that seems fine. And I'll do something similar on this side. So we already have a nice anchor point there. In fact, I might not even have to do anything here. I'll just add a point here. There we go. And this is the chest of the cat. I'll just lower it down a little bit. There, perfect. So there's a bit of a problem here. Here on the original image, there's a line here, so we can see the separation between the back leg and the front paw. But because we're using shading and there's no lines, it doesn't come out that well here. It is much darker here, so maybe if I just darken the paw, that'll fix everything. Let me see. Yeah, that might be enough actually. I'll try darkening it just a little bit more just to be sure. Oh. I guess my color thing doesn't work in Firefox. I'll have to fix that. Sort of unfortunate. Usually when you click here, you get a color picker, but I'm testing this for the first time in Firefox, and I guess my code doesn't work in Firefox here. So instead, let me work on the body now. So here we have sort of a dark part here and a dark part here. So in order to get this lightness in the middle, probably want a nice split going down here, I think. Now I have to move this cat. Let me just move this to the bottom. Okay, so now that I have a split going down the middle, I can have greater control of the colors, so that way I can make it dark here. No, yeah, actually I don't want it dark here because it then actually blends in with the head too much. So I'll actually keep it sort of light. Let's see what's a good color for that. Yeah, actually I might keep things like this because if I actually make things too dark here, it will blend in with the color of the head, so you won't actually be able to see where the head and the body are different. I'm not sure what the best way to fix this is. I guess I could make it extremely dark. Let me see what that looks like. No, I can't really do that because I can't create colors. And maybe even an orange. Well, I guess I'll just have to live with that for now until I can figure out a solution to that. I guess I could possibly make things very dark on the edge here. Well, I'll fine tune the image later, but I guess the cat's actually looking pretty good now. I guess I can do some more fine tuning on the paws here to get the white only on the end of the paws. But yeah, I guess I'll end it now because I think the cat is good enough to see shading on now.